Oh man, this really is pretty horrible news in a lot of ways, and I've been really just kind of sad reading this and reading through this entire article, to be honest. This is an article from Vanity Fair, and they basically they go through a lot of the things that is going to be happening in episode 9. It's a really lengthy article, so I'm not going to be going too much into depth in this article, but there's a lot here. You should go check it out if you want to. There's tons of stuff that they talk about in this article, and there's something that I really am excited about that they bring up in this article. Then there's a lot of things that I'm just not happy about that they talk about in this article. One of those things happens to be the fact that, well, let's just read this paragraph and we can talk about it. But the stakes go even higher than that, cosmically high. Sources close to the movie say that Skywalker will at long last bring to a climax the millennia-long conflict between the Jedi Order and its dark shadow, the Sith. That's right, Episode 9, Rise of Skywalker, is going to be ending the Jedi and the Sith conflict. Which I hate. I hate to hear that, because the Jedi and the Sith, their conflict is one of the biggest things that has been driving Star Wars. It's one of the greatest things about Star Wars, and it's one of the things that people are always excited to see more of. Does this mean that we're not going to get any more Sith in Star Wars? Does this mean that we're not going to get any more Jedi in Star Wars? I don't know, but that's definitely what it seems like. Get out of here, fly. But that's really what it seems like they're trying to say here, what they're trying to imply here. It sounds like that the Sith and the Jedi are going to be done after this movie, and that seems like that's kind of the direction that they've been heading this entire time with this trilogy. They've been slowly inching towards the new mindset for Star Wars moving forward, with that the Jedi and the Sith are irrelevant. They don't have a purpose in Star Wars anymore, and I hate that. I hate that so much, and I just don't understand why. Why do you need to do that? Even if you can make Star Wars films in the future that are about other things in Star Wars that don't have to be around the Jedi and Sith, it doesn't mean you have to end the Sith and the Jedi. Why do you feel like you need to end the Sith and the Jedi? These are some of the core things about the Star Wars universe, and you're going to be destroying it? You're going to be ending it? Giving it a climax? No. That I do not accept that. I do not like that, and I am not excited about the film because of that. If they do indeed end the Jedi and the Sith in Star Wars, I feel like that is the last straw of stripping away everything that Star Wars is. These are the iconic symbols of Star Wars. Sith and Jedi, lightsabers, blue lightsabers, red lightsabers, green lightsabers, whatever. This is what people immediately recognize when they see these things, Star Wars. That's exactly what people immediately think when they see these symbols. If you take that away, then what is Star Wars? It's definitely not anything like it's definitely not the Star Wars that we've grown to know and love. And J.J. Abrams talks a lot in this article, and I also did a video on Geeks and Gamers talking about it, but J.J. Abrams and Kathleen Kennedy talk extensively about how they're basically destroying everything that we know about Star Wars up to this point. They're destroying the Star Wars legacy to pave way for a new future in Star Wars, for a new generation, and I just hate it. I hate it so much. And I said in that video, Star Wars, the prequel trilogy for Star Wars was kind of, in a sense, for a new generation as well. But they were able to make that series, that trilogy, without having to destroy the spirit of Star Wars, the heart of Star Wars, the legacy of Star Wars. In fact, that was a prequel trilogy, but it still honored the legacy of the original trilogy of Star Wars. Why can't they get that right in this trilogy? Why do they keep on messing that up with the sequel trilogy and with everything that they've been doing with Star Wars up to this point? Kathleen Kennedy has been actively trying to tear down the legacy of Star Wars, the spirit of Star Wars, the heart of Star Wars, and she's been doing a pretty good job at it. And that is why I am not excited to see what they're going to be doing with Episode 9. I was excited about Episode 9 for the most part. I was actually looking forward to it. But after reading this article especially, I'm just not excited for the movie anymore. I'm just not. I think it's going to be terrible. With that being said, let me know in the comments below what you think about this news, and I will talk to you all very soon in another video. Talk to you later. Bye.